everybody, this is Star with H&S Designs Now, and in today's video I wanted to show you how I make these herringbone wire wrap bead links. Plenty of people on YouTube have shown how to do this, but for me personally it took me a good little while to really wrap my mind around how to make a herringbone wrap. I just couldn't quite, it just didn't work out in my mind. And finally, not long ago, I figured it out. I'm like, oh my gosh, why did it take me so long to figure out how to do this really simple but yet really cute way of wrapping a bead? So I did want to help to explain that to you, just in case you couldn't figure out that as well. So for today, you're going to want to have your wire. I'm going to be using an 18 gauge silver and a 26 gauge silver. I know it's kind of worn down a little bit. And the beads I'm going to be using are these rainbow hematite beads. As you can see in this one, these are copper colored hematite beads, and I used a copper wire to wrap it. And on this I made a bracelet, although it's not long enough to go around my wrist. But you can do this to make earrings, you can make a bracelet, you can make a necklace, just about anything that you want to do. You can also use graduated beads as well, although I think I wouldn't probably go any lower than probably a 6mm bead, just because the smaller you get would probably be the harder to do. Now, one really cool thing that I have noticed about these, and you can see I kind of made my links a little uneven, but anyway, is that because the wire is not strongly attached to the base wire, it will turn. So I noticed that when I set this, you see how this bead, if I can get my camera to focus, there we go, this bead is sitting up, whereas this one's crooked. You can always just take it, turn it to get it to face the same way. So that's one really neat thing about the herringbone wrap, is that the bead and your wrapping wire is not strongly attached to the base wire, although it is not going to go anywhere. It's on there pretty well. It would take you literally having to like pull it apart to get it off. So I'm going to set that aside. So you see I've got one link already made of this silver one. Okay. And so this is about what we're going to look for. Now, one thing that I never could get my mind to wrap around is I kept thinking that when you wrap the wire here and then you came down, you wanted to keep the wire laying on top, and that's not correct. You want the wire to lay side by side against each other, just like it is here, and I'll give you a really close, good look. So you want it to look like that, but then up here, this is how you want it, okay? So if you're having a hard time getting that in your mind, hopefully that helps. So why they call it a herringbone, I'm not quite sure. It has something to do with the fish, with the way that the scales are, or the bones. I'm not sure, but it's something along those lines. But this is the part up and above and below that is the way that it looks, which takes its name. So I've got my beads here. Ooh, and I've already got a little piece of wire here already cut of my 18 gauge. In total, I will not need this much for one link. I will probably actually only need about this much or so, but I like having a little extra. So I'm going to set my wire off to the side a little bit. You will need coarse flush cutters, around nose plier, and some other kind of pliers. I like using these two, it's just what I prefer to do. So I'm going to take my tweezer nose right here, and I'm going to come down to where I'll have enough and have a tail. So I'm going to come down, I'm going to bend my wire, and then I'm going to come in, and you see I have marks on my pliers right here, about midways down. So that's how large I want all of my loops to be. So you're going to make your loop, and then I'm going to come in, I'm going to take it with my left hand, and that's when I take my bent nose pliers, And with this actually being as long as it is, if it was smaller, I would need to take this. But since there's nothing on this wire right now, I'll use my fingers. You're going to wrap 2 to 3 times, or really however many you choose to make. You can make 4, 5, 6, whatever. It's up to you. You do want to make sure it gets good and tight. And then I'm going to push it in a little bit on both sides. Make sure that's nice and tight. Then I'm going to come in. I'm going to let go with that. Be careful of how strong you hold your round nose pliers, because you may accidentally indent the wire, which I almost did. Cut that as close as you can. So now it's sticking out, but we're going to take care of that here in just a few minutes. You're going to go ahead, kind of straighten up your wire a little bit, and then get you about a foot, 1-2 feet section of your wrapping wire. I'm using, again, the 26 gauge. Ooh, if I can get my pliers untangled. Okay, and I like to use my hands to just kind of straighten the wire out, warm it up a little bit. And then I'm going to take my wire. This is just how I've learned to do it. This is how I like to do it. I'm going to take my wire, I'm going to hold it like this right here, and I'm going to wrap at least 3 times. Okay, and I'm going to squish it together. Usually I like to try to wrap the tail up. You can, or you can go ahead and cut it off. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it the rest of the way. Just, it's got a little extra to it. Squish it down. Now here's the thing. Because these hematite beads, you see how large this hole is on the hematite bead? It fits wonderfully. Look at this. It'll go right over, well, if I didn't have the tail sticking up. I just made myself into a liar, didn't I? Anyway, so there we go. So now that the tail is down, I'm going to thread on the bead again, and watch this. It fits right over what I just coiled. So that way, the end is covered up, at least on that side. So now you want to take your wire, and at the moment, it does not matter which direction your end is sitting. So you're going to take your wire, and you're going to come around to the other side, come in front, wrap around 1 time. Okay, so that's what it should look like. And you want to kind of hold the wire you wrapped still as much as you can with your fingers. And then you come around, stay on the front, wrap it around, adjust. And as you move, your wires here may kind of try to come in, and you can keep them straight out. So now again, like I said, you want to make sure this wire falls behind that first wire. Okay, and wrap around, and again, behind, wrap around. So you want them to kind of try to stay as close together as you can, although if they do kind of spread out a little bit like this one has, it's okay. So I'm on 2, this one will make 3. You do want to make sure you keep a mind of how many total wraps you have done. This one makes 4, and behind 5. I like to turn my work as I go and just keep my hands straight. 5. So now you can also come in and count 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one makes 5. So now both of them have even sides. I'm going to keep going until I get about to 7. So that's one really good thing about how this is done, is that you can easily figure out how many wraps you've done. And now what I'm going to do really quickly, because I was not counting, I was talking instead of counting, I'm going to come in and I'm going to count my wraps real quick. And I'm going to get it up really good close for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this side. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So now, since we have an even number of wraps, and 7 was what I was going for, I'm going to take the rest of my wire and I'm going to wrap 3 more times. 2 and 3. And that is just to secure your wire down. I'm going to go ahead and cut. And I have seen how people have done and just do the one single wrap, cut it, and then put the tail in behind. And I don't like to do that. I like for my wire to be as secure as possible. Push that down and get that good and flat, okay? And you see, look at there, it moves. So that's one really nice thing I like about it. And then you can push your work right on up to where your end is. Turn it around. And I would suggest that if this end is going this way, then you want this one to go this way. So take your pliers, go up about 2 centimeters or so, not much, just a little tiny bit. And then make a bend. Take your round nose pliers, wrap them around to make your loop. Okay, and then again, you take it in your other hand and you want to wrap this. You usually want to do the same number of wraps on either side as you can. The more wraps that you do, the more secure that your work is going to be. Somehow, I got that overlaying. I'm not going to worry about that right now. That's something you usually don't want to do. So I'm going to go ahead, trim that off. Now I'm going to take, let's see, I guess this is kind of out of whack a little bit. Take this, do that, and then I'm going to push down my wire end so it's not sticking out. It's not going to stick anybody. Still not quite. Push this down, push this up. If it'll go. There we go. All right, and again, I noticed that this one's crooked, so I'm going to straighten this one up. There we go. And then I got to get in back in here again. There we go. And let's see. One more time. I want it. There we go. Sorry if I got off camera. And so now there is your link, your herringbone wire link. So one thing that you can do when you're making your herringbone links, if you're choosing to make a bracelet, what you can do is when you're making your second loop, after you've looped it around once, but before you start wrapping it around, you can go ahead and link them together. Or you can just use jump rings. I forgot what it was called for a minute there. Lord of mercy. And then another thing that you could do is you can make your first initial loop, do your wire wrapping, and then before you make your second loop, what you can do is you can just simply do some little intricate little design if you're planning on making earrings. Or you can take these and make earrings and do a little dangle off of the end of it, something like that. With this, just about anything is possible. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I helped you to learn how to make these herringbone wire wrapped bead links. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, as well as that notification bell icon, and give me a comment. If you like this, let me know, or if you just want to say hi, or if you have suggestions on future tutorial videos. I do plan on trying to make a tutorial on how to do ends, because that one looks like crap. Just to be honest, we were all thinking it, and it's okay. I'm right there with you, okay? But I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.